for the Giants, it's real, man. They are going through it. Cornerback Paulson Adebo is missing yet another game, which means that Tay Banks is going to be on the field again, getting the start. I think Cordell Flott is back this week, which is going to be a big lift for that secondary. But whenever Tay Banks is on the field, you know that it is a problem. And if Tay Banks is on the field, I feel better with Corey Black out there, if I'm being honest with you. I think that Tay Banks is a huge liability. He's given up 69% completion percentage to opposing quarterbacks, and he does not tackle well. He is an overrated player. In fact, I don't think he's even overrated anymore. I think people are rating him exactly where he belongs, in the garbage. But also, we've got right tackle Jermaine Illuminor, who's out. I think that Marcus Embo has come in and played well during his absence, although last week he did have 2 consecutive false start plays. I don't think that you can really use that as a measuring stick of how his rookie campaign is going, though, because he is a good player. He came in game 1 when Hudson had that psychological meltdown and committed 4 penalties on a single drive. And even though the Giants were able to convert on that drive and score a touchdown, Embo came in when Hudson was going through whatever he was, and he played pretty well. In fact, it's a large part of the reason why the Giants were able to score on that drive. Then he came in last week, like I said, in a Luminor spot. And aside from those 2 penalties he had, he may have given up a pressure or 2, but he had a decent game. I don't feel petrified when Embo was in the game the same way I did against felt about Evan Neal when he was in the game, or some of the other deficiencies that we have had when Andrew Thomas has gone out. So I think that we're going to be okay with Embo in there with Illuminor out. And then Chauncey Golston, who was supposed to come in and be another depth piece for our defense to help solidify the edge. And in that C gap, we have been getting lit up left and right this year. Our gap integrity as a whole has just been non-existent for our Giants defense. And that's why I say Ben Johnson was being just very gracious when he said that there's an argument that can be had that this is one of the best defensive fronts that they have faced. No, it is not. There is no argument about that. And then Bo Collins is out again. And I don't know that that really matters much because he is not being as effective during the regular season as he was during the preseason. He was really flashy during the preseason, but he's not giving us much. So I'm hoping Lil Jordan Humphrey will get some play time. Ray McCloud was signed before the trade deadline. And I'm glad that they're working him in also because he's going to be a long-term piece for the Giants. I don't know how the Giants are still feeling about Slayton with all the drops that he's been making, particularly just giving up on catching balls because he's afraid of what's going to happen when he hits the ground. Like, he's been paid a lot of money to catch those passes, and he has not been catching well-placed balls by his rookie quarterback. But I think Lil Jordan Humphrey is another big target. He's 6'4". He's a big frame. You can get him on the sidelines, the edges, and in the red zone. He should be somebody who you can throw the ball to, but he's got to have better hands when the ball comes his way also. But those are 2 starters and 2 key rotation guys that the Giants are going to be going into Soldier Field without. And I think that could be a huge liability for them.